Hey everybody, it's January 10th. It's Friday. What a beautiful day today. The last 3 days it has been bitterly cold and high winds. And I'm sure many people in the rest of New England had been hibernating for these 3 days. Unless you had to work outside, it was best not to. Bringing you back because, as you may or may not know from my previous video, we need to do a tire change on the John Deere M. I'll show you again, if you haven't seen the previous video, what this sidewall bulge looks like. And this is it. And you can see the tube is actually sticking out of the rubber from the tires. The very first thing I need to do is turn the tractor around. So we'll go ahead and do that now and get myself some space to jack the tractor up and take the wheel and tire off, and then we'll work on getting the tire off the wheel. Okay, the fuel is on, so I'll give myself some ignition. I'll give myself some choke. I'm going to go ahead and give myself some throttle to get us started, and I'm going to pull the starter after I make sure it's in neutral. One thing I've learned from trying to start this is it does not take much choke. So you saw I tried to start it twice with the choke on and then shut the choke off, and she starts right up. All right, I'm gonna pull her forward and get her turned around. Okay, I got it jacked up in the air and I've got it supported with a block. The tire is off the ground. So the next thing I've got to do is remove what they call the wheel weight, which a lot of people think is the hubcap, but cast wheel weight for the front. Not real good, but it is what it is. Got to get myself some screwdriver. Got to get myself a screwdriver for these screws. There are 3 screws that hold that on. Take that off, and then we'll take the wheel off. Be right back. All right, got the wheel weight off, and tractor's still perched perfectly on its approved jack stand. And surprise, surprise, I have a weld repair done to the wheel weight. But you know what? I didn't notice it, and it's really, really hard to tell that was ever repaired. You can see a little bit of porosity there, but you know what? It's painted up. You can't even see it. So good on them. Nice repair. Looks factory from the outside. I mean, this tire is in horrible condition. I got another split started there. I mean, it's bad is what I'm trying to tell you. I know you're not here looking at it, but it's really bad. So we're going to get this wheel off. Basically what we've got to do is we've got to pull this cotter pin out. Then we've got to get this castle nut off, retain whatever shims we've got, and then we'll pull the hub right off, or pull the wheel off the spindle, and we'll find out what we've got in there for bearings. We'll check the bearings out, and of course we'll repack them when we put them back on. But here we go. I was going to deal with the cotter pin, but I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is a nail or coat hanger or what, but in any event, it's coming out. It's going to be replaced with the right thing. Here we go. Let's get it out. Never done this. Oh, shoot. Never done this one-handed before, as you can tell. And I'm watching myself, not watching through the camera, so that's why you guys couldn't see what I was doing. All right, there we go. We got that out. And we're going to take the castle nut off. There's going to be a real thick washer behind it. Should be indexed with a little pin into the groove here. We'll see if that's the case or not. That's what I've ever seen before on any other vehicles I've worked on or trailers. And it is not indexed, but that's fine. There's no little pin that sits down into that groove right there, but that'll work. That's fine. And now this is free to come off. Shaking it back and forth. There's the outer wheel bearing. Got a little, well, let me put it in front of the camera. It's got a little bit of rust on the cage assembly, which means, no, that's debris. That's interesting. I wonder if that's yellow paint. I wonder if when they painted it, they just painted the race. That'd be weird. But there's yellow and green paint in here, so I wouldn't be surprised if whoever painted this wheel didn't clean it before they stuck it on there. All right, now I'm going to take the rest of it off. Need 2 hands for this. Be right back. Hiya! All right, we get it off of there. Looks like the inner bearing came entirely off with the wheel, and I guess that's fine. Maybe it's pressed in, maybe it's not. I don't know. But I'll see if I can. I can't even move the race. I might have to replace that. I'm sure it moves when we're going down the road. I'm about to let the pressure out of the tires, and then I'll work on wrestling this tire off the wheel. All right, here we go. Now, there's not a lot of air pressure in here. I had it at, I think, 20 pounds, and I reduced it when I saw that bulge. Really? Still threaded in there a little bit. Long-winded bugger. There we go. Ooh, that's a long one. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to save this. Well, don't look at all the stuff on the workbench, everybody. Let's pretend that's not there. Because I do need to clean this off. But this is my professional bead breaker. And I just wanted to show you because I'm not sure that everybody has one like this. You know, that is pretty special. I got to go very, very ginger because this is cast and I don't want to crack it. But I do want to get this tire off the bead so that I can do something. So let's see what we can do. You're going to be here first if it cracks. You'll hear me cry. Oh, it's doing something. I just got to put this pipe a little bit lower here. Yep. I gotta learn how to work with no hands. Or get a tripod. Maybe I'll get a tripod. When I get my first 8 million subscribers, I will buy a tripod. Oh yeah! There it is. That's a broken bead right there. Good deal. All right, people. Mission accomplished. Now I got to work it off. Yep, on my, it's, see, held strong up against the, oh man. All right, drill press, thank you. Well, here we go. I'm going to try and not crack this rim. A buddy of mine was trying to replace the tire on his John Deere M and ended up cracking the wheel, and I had to do a weld repair. So I'm going to try and not do that here. I don't know if this is a tube. Yes, it is a tube tire. Yeah. I've also got to try and not pinch the tube. That'd be a bit of a challenge. And not pinch my finger. I should have mentioned that too. finger or thumb. Now, come on, tire. I really only have, and I don't even have it over here ready for me, but I really only have one good tire spoon. I'm going to grab that right now. All right, let's see what we can do. I've got to get this bead into the lip of the tire so that I've got room to even bring this around the rim. Oof, she's crusty. Yeah, there's not a lot of room here. And I certainly don't want to, worrying less now about pinching the tube as I am concerned about breaking the wheel. I certainly don't want to do that. So make sure I'm down into where the tire can move over into this depression here of the wheel so that I don't crack it. Oh, man, she's tight. Boy, I don't know if I like this. This would be a miracle to be able to get this off. This tire is really quite stiff. I'm here to tell you. And you got to be careful with these cast wheels. Even right now, I don't want to put a lot of pressure on that lip because I just don't want to damage it. Let's see if I can work this around at all. Well, yeah, starting to lose it. I'm trying to pull it up as close as I can so that it's not so much pressure on the wheel. I mean, I'm sure it can take some pressure, but I'm just I don't want to overdo it here. All right. At this point, I'm going to liberally apply some silicone spray. Okay, I'm back with my heavy duty silicone spray. So I'm going to use this very liberally on here to see what I can do to make it easier to get out. Get the tire out from the wheel here. I really don't think I can use too much on here because I want to get the backside of the rim. Gonna make things really slippery, but that's what I want as far as if I had my druthers and it came down to saving the wheel or damaging the wheel, I'd rather have it all slickery and not damage the wheel. Yep, there we go. It's feeling a little bit easier actually, but maybe it's just my mental state knowing that it's lubricated now, and maybe easier to get out. And in an effort not to try and put too much tension in one spot on the wheel, see if I can get one in, get the spoon in over here. Really kind of fighting me at the moment. What if I get the spoon in over here behind the wheel, behind the tire, then I can try and take another bite without putting too much stress in one spot on the rim, on the wheel. Get in there. Boy, didn't have good luck at all. Well, I got two choices. Choice number one is I go at it hard and heavy, which I can do, but I happen to know, I've already searched Facebook when my buddy's wheel cracked. A set of wheels for the L and the M is $100. I'm almost thinking it's going to be better just to cut this tire off and just put a new one on. Well, after a long hard think about this, I ended up putting the tire into the bead breaker. I'm crushing your head. And I got my tire spoon, started right here and started working it this way with the dead blow. And now I'm with another liberal spray of silicone. Now I'm working it this way with the dead blow. The bottom I've got braced up against the vise or redneck bead breaker. So looks like I'm making progress here. I'm not worried about stressing the wheel. I did, when I started to pull it initially over the lip, I did go right above this reinforced rib, which made me feel a little bit better about starting it or having a good starting point. So, but I wanted to make sure that that bead was all the way tucked up in and able to get up into the wheel as far as possible. Manually manipulated the edges as I started to work the spoon, and then I got the spoon so it was flat and had pulled the tire up a little bit over the rim and then just worked it. So I'm going to continue to do that and I'll bring you back. Okay, well, I feel pretty confident that I'm going to get at least one bead off the wheel and then I'll work the other one. Right now it's going real easy. I can, if I release the Kraken, I can probably push the rest out with my hands. Just kind of force it. And then get her gone. Then work on the other bead. Well, we did it. The silicone spray makes it really messy. I've already wiped my hands off. There's a wheel there. So now I've got to go order tires and maybe even a tube. All right, this is how we're going to check the tube. We're going to pump it up and see. Incidentally, I never filled you guys in, but this, where did I get this? Must be, it's Cobalt, probably Lowe's, I think. Sells Cobalt, or maybe used to. This is really pretty low profile, and the nice thing is it snaps on, but it doesn't take a lot of space. And so that's how, if you've watched my other video, that's how I was able to pump up my rear tires. I had to use a screwdriver and wedge the valve stem off the wheel just a little bit. Had this, and then slid that on and locked it, and then could air it up. Now, obviously because this locks on, I'll be able to air it up, and I'm doing this one-handed. So, just whatever air is left in my compressor. So. And it's just going to keep expanding until it pops. But what I'll do is I'll give it the old field test and then let it sit for a while, see if I've got any apparent leaks. And if I have no apparent leaks, then this might go back inside the wheel with the new tire. And then I got to do the same thing for the other side. So I think I'm in for, I probably am going to buy 2 tires and 2 tubes. And then maybe I'll have spares. I don't know. But I'm thinking if I don't buy tubes with it, when I go to put this thing in, I'll probably pinch it. And we all know, we've all been there. Then you're waiting even longer to put it back together. So probably 2 tires with 2 tubes, and we'll go from there. If you can't tell from the pitter patter of the roof, it's a nice rainy January here in Rhode Island. The tube here that I pumped up last time It's got to be a week now. It's still holding air, but I've decided not to use it. I ordered 2 new tubes along with the 2 new tires. So I'm going to be installing new tubes. I'll just keep this as a spare. So the new tires are the same. They both say Harvest King. They both have the size 5015s. They are both Field Pros F2. The only difference being this white little bit here that they mold into it. It's got to be a serial number or something. This side does not have it. This one has a little barcode, but the rim's going to seat there. So I'm going to put this side out. That's my plan. Okay, I've got this started, and now I'm just kind of standing on here and trying to jam it in with my foot the rest of the way. Yeah, I say maybe about halfway or 3/4 of the way around so far. Getting the bead on there. I might have to use a spoon on there. Get it seated. I think I probably will. All right. So this is what we've got here, and I've got my spoon, and I think I'll probably be able to, pick up on it here a little bit as we work it around. And again, I'm challenged to operate a phone and work at the same time, so my apologies if you really want to see what I'm doing, because I only got one hand. You know what I'm saying? I got one hand, and I'm giving the peace sign. Yeah. Okay. This is going to take 2 hands. Well, the trick was flip the rim over and then work it over. So I've got the one lip on top of there. Now I'm going to feed the tube in, and then we'll get this other bead started underneath the rim. Then I got to be very careful not to pinch the tube. There we go. Auto butyl tube. Gateway. Made in Korea. Should be good. All right. This has got to get put inside the tire. And then that's got to get put inside that hole. And then the rest of it all the way around. Here we go. Hoo-wee. It was a struggle. I needed both hands. But I got it on. I don't think I pinched the tube. But the next thing is, we're going to give it some air, and we'll find out. All right, I don't have a big compressor in here in the workshop. I just use a small pancake. I just charged it up. Hopefully it won't come on, because that'll get annoying and loud. So there is air leaking, but what that can be is, as the tube expands, the air's got to go somewhere. The air that is in the volume that the tube's trying to expand into. So I can feel it. But 12 pounds. There it is, nice and loud. Oh, yeah, a lot of air coming out around the valve stem. Not through the valve stem, but around the valve stem. So the tube is probably still expanding. as the air is coming out from the rim. That's what I hope it is. Time will tell. I don't know if you can hear it. We're starting to slow down, but I'm down to just under 10 pounds on the tube, so I'm hoping that's all just volume air coming out from the volume of the tire. We'll give her some more. Let's see what happens. I might have pinched that tube. It doesn't seem like there'd be that much coming out. Boy, wouldn't that suck. I'll be back after I'm done with my curse words. I had an epiphany. I now know why they sell tubes in quantity of 1 or quantity of 2. I think they sell quantity of 2 so that the unfortunate people have got an extra tube to deal with. The experienced people, well, they've got 2 tubes that they can use. So I've got one brand new tube holding air behind my brand new tire on my old rim, and I've got an old tube that's still holding air, and I've got a brand new tube that, after wrestling with it to come out, has about 7 holes in it because I just got so frustrated and started ripping and tearing. So I'm not even going to patch that. I'll take the core out and save the core. Now, both of these are 5015s. And you can see which one's new and which one's slightly used. It's been around the field a couple times. But there's a definite difference in width. And I think they're trying to save some rubber. I mean, no, it's 5015 because it's a 5-inch wide rim. But boy, the tread width is not the same. And that's okay. Well, this is interesting. I cleaned up this washer and you can see the index. The index that I was talking about expecting to find when I took this off. See, that should go right in that groove and this should not spin. But you can see it goes roundy, roundy, roundy. I'll have to get a new washer for that. But I'm going to put it back together so I can drive it.